Hey, it's Cliff, and it's been a minute since I've done a video, so I figured I'd just let you guys know what I've been up to. Now, something that I've kind of always done in my life is I really don't like living in one place for too long. So every 3 to 4 years, I usually pack up and I just move somewhere completely different. I find that gives me a new outlook on life. I get to experience different things. I get to see different things in the world, communicate with different people and different ideas. And I've just found that I've really enjoyed that. I've never really been a person that's been kind of tied to one location. Like I felt like this is the place that I belong. I just kind of move into some spot and that becomes my home for the next 4 years or so. And then once I get fed up and feel like it's time for a change, then I just move to the next place. So that's currently what I am doing right now. Looking at the map here, my plan is to move what looks like halfway across the globe, almost, maybe not quite, but it's definitely quite a long distance from where we're planning to move to. Looks like 7 million miles, actually 7.5, a little bit over 7.5 million miles. So we're located here on Honolulu. It's a great place to live, don't get me wrong. I've really enjoyed it. It is very, very expensive to live in Hawaii. But if you guys have any questions about living in Hawaii or around Honolulu, any kind of questions about what you could expect from living in a location like this, definitely hit me up in the comments and I can, let you know my experience. We've been here for about 3 or 4 years now. So we can definitely give you some tips. So we're going to travel all the way over to Florida. We lived in Florida before, and I found that, we really liked Florida. We lived on the Panhandle, and for this particular trip, I'm thinking about moving to Orlando. I think if my wife and I were to have kids, there's a lot of like theme parks, and generally we just like Florida. Florida's a nice place to be. So we're picking Orlando next to Disneyland. I can take my kids there. I think that'd be a great experience for them in the long run. And just there's a lot of opportunities, a lot of jobs there. It is a expensive area to live in as well. Definitely not as expensive as Hawaii, but it's something that we're gonna have to plan for in our budget because of how expensive it can be. And to be completely honest with you guys, I'm not set on moving to Orlando. I think what I'm gonna do is just throw my resume out there and just see what kind of locations I could go to. Maybe it could be Colorado. That would be a completely different experience for us, something completely different. And it could be enjoyable. So I'm not set on Orlando, but I figure with the price of housing and food and things like that in Orlando, if I set my budget to that location, I should be able to go pretty much anywhere that lands me a job because of how high Orlando is. As long as we're not trying to go to like New York City or something like that. But I have no real interest in living in a really packed city like that anyway. So we're probably gonna stay away from that. So let me just show you guys my budget real quick. So this is what I'm kind of shooting for when it comes to my budget. If you go up here, this table is the bills that we're gonna have on a monthly basis. This is one-time costs that I will incur from moving. And this is a chart of how I want my savings to look like. So let's go ahead and start down here with how the savings is gonna work. So we're here in October already, and the plan for these 4 months was to save around $3,200, which so far I'm being successful with the job that I'm currently working at right now. So on November, I'm going to start an internship, quit my job, start the internship. It's a paid internship, so it's still going to be in my budget to keep on saving this amount of money that I need to get to the end of April. It's a 6-month internship, and by May, I want to move. I want to be somewhere else, planning a new life, something new in my life going on. New location, new experiences, new traveling, just not being in Hawaii. So if we go up here to the monthly budget, I'm shooting for my rent to cost about $2,500 and my power to be around $500. Now my budget here is kind of inflated. I won't necessarily hit these prices. Maybe they'll be a little bit lower, and sometimes it'll be a little bit higher. Like I realistically don't think my power is going to be around $500, but I shoot high, so I'll be comfortable enough to get by and hopefully have enough savings that we're not going to be pressured if we want to like go out to eat or something like that. So power is 500. Our cell phone bill is going to be 140. Gas for both our cars, I'm shooting for 200. Food, $900. And I didn't really know what the budget, because they say inflation is happening really high on the mainland, but we're so used to Hawaii prices that we probably spend more than $900 in groceries. So I put it at 900 to think that maybe they're less than Hawaii, but still we like to have good food in our house. So that's what we're kind of going for, is 900. If I spend less than that, if groceries are really cheap, then that's just a bonus. Internet, $90. Dog food is going to be 100. Vet bill, 150 we're going to put back for the month. Now, granted, we don't take our dog to the vet every month, but there is things like Triflexis for like heartworms and, the medication for him just to keep him healthy that we want to put money back for, just in case we need to buy after 6 months. Household goods, that's, toilet paper, paper towels, all that kind of stuff, cleaning supplies, $100 a month. Canva, so I keep my YouTube videos rolling now that I have more time to do more videos. $13 for me. I usually pay by the year, and it's pretty cheap. Prime, $8. We're both students, so we get the student discount. Auto insurance, $140 for both our cars, and car maintenance, we want to put back $100 just because my car's really old. It's like a 2012. It's probably not going to last us that much longer. I'm gonna have to buy a vehicle eventually. I'm very frugal. I want to hold on to the car. It still runs fine. I don't need another car. I barely use it anyway. I take my car to work pretty much, and that's it. I don't care if people don't like how it looks. Their opinion doesn't really matter to me. So moving up here, we have one-time expenses that I'm gonna occur for us just transitioning to moving back to the mainland. So if you guys watch my channel, I had a German Shepherd puppy. Still have the puppy, of course. He's our family member. We're never gonna get rid of him, but he is very big now. He is a big German Shepherd. We took him to the vet last week, and he was 65 pounds. So we're probably gonna incur at least a $1,500 expense just to get him on a plane to go back. Shipping our cars, like I said, we got 2 cars, so I'm assuming that's gonna be around $2,500. A deposit for rent, that's, usually they want first month's rent, so if we're shooting for $2,500 for rent, they're probably gonna want another $2,500 up front just to have a deposit. Starting the internet, $100. Usually you have some kind of fee when you start your internet. Clothes, I'm looking at interviews, so I'm gonna need some nice clothes to go to interviews, so that's gonna be another cost that we incur. Plan on getting a Airbnb as soon as we get there, and I'm shooting for $4,000 for 1 month to just give us time to get wherever we're going and look for a house that we're gonna rent and just scope out the location. You'll be no stress because we'll have 31 days to just be there, moved in, and just relax. And then for rent, I'm sure I'm gonna have some kind of pet deposit, so I'm shooting for $500. Now, for every month that I'm there, when I highlight all these categories, that's gonna cost me around almost $5,000 for 1 month of living expense. So that's something that I have to shoot for. And then when it comes to the one-time expenses, that's gonna cost me almost $12,000. So just right off the bat, there's damn near 20K that I need to save just to deal with this kind of stuff. But granted, if I get there or if I get a job before I go, then maybe our budget won't be so tight. But still, for me to be comfortable, I would like to have at least 6 months just to be okay. I do have more savings, but I don't want to dip into that. I want this timeline here to be an expense all of its own for us to transition and move. So that's the plan for that. So just looking here, I have Airbnbs in Orlando. The main difficulty that I'm going to have here is finding a place that can allow a dog, and then also has a place that I can, have him go to the restroom. We need some kind of like backyard that I can take him out. I also need area that isn't like super populated, so I can walk him, get all of his energy out, because if we're talking a 65-pound German Shepherd, this guy has a lot of energy that we need to drain out so he's not driving us insane. So there's a lot of options here. Like I said, in my budget, we're shooting for 4K. This one's 4,200. It's pretty nice. Let's look at the pictures. Just looking through here, this is definitely livable. You know, it's very nice. But the thing that holds us back is just finding a location here that has a backyard or somewhere that he can, you know, go potty. So a lot of what you're gonna find in Orlando is like these little condos. And personally, I don't really want to be in something like that. I want something that's more like a house. If we look maybe like outside of Orlando a little bit, I think that's something we could find. Definitely don't want something like this with a balcony, because then I gotta drag him down the stairs, and that just sounds like a total pain in the ass. But there's something like this is 4,200. I don't really need something with a pool, but it's a house and it looks decent. It's nice. I like that it doesn't have carpet. It just needs a backyard. So as far as renting, I have Zillow here just to kind of look at the prices that we're going to be dealing with. Remember, our budget is 2,500, so that's what we're shooting for. And there's options here. There's definitely some of these are up in like the 3,500, and that's definitely not something I want to spend. I want to shoot more like this 22.5 here. Looks pretty good. It's a house. I like that it's not carpet. Our German Shepherd sheds quite a bit, so it's just not something I want to deal with. Plus, carpet's kind of dirty to me. Like the older I get, I just don't. I'm not in the carpet. It's just something that, you know, you gotta shampoo it. I'd rather just sweep and mop and call it a day. So, you know, we could rent something like this. You know, it has a backyard here. I don't know if it's fenced or not. Preferably it would be something that's fenced. That way I can just kind of like let my dog go and he can run. You know, I don't have to watch him every second or take him out on the leash. That's kind of a pain. What else we got? 25.65. So this one's a little bit above our budget, but you know, if it was nice, maybe that's something we would look at. That's all the pictures they have just for that. That's kind of sad. 24 has a carport. I prefer a garage if we're gonna stay there for a year. It's okay. And there's something like this. I think this is what we're shooting for, really. Little backyard, and has a little sun patio thing. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm shooting for. Critique my budget down in the comments. Let me know if you see any weakness in this budget. I still have plenty of time. We're looking at 7 months out, still to do all this planning before we move. And again, I'm not set on Orlando either, but I feel like the prices are just kind of, they're nice. They're, you know, average. It's a good spot to set the budget. So yeah, let me know what you think. And thank you for watching.